Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on how to use AI chatbots to produce our code so that we can generate some beautiful graphs and tables. In this video, I'm going to share with you how you can add 95% confidence intervals to your bar charts or to your line charts. As an example, here I'm showing you the simple bar chart that we produced. Here the outcome was a binary variable, which was whether the respondent is stressed, and for each of these race and ethnicity groups we showed what percent of the respondents within that group is stressed. For example, among the white respondents we found that 38.9% of them are stressed. Now, one thing that you should note here is that these 38.9%, this is only among the white respondents in this data set that we have, right? And if we draw another random sample, we might get a different percent. So we might get something like a 37.9%. And if we draw another sample, we might get a 39.5%, and so on and so forth. So each time we draw a random sample from the population of interest, we might get these different point estimates. And that's why anytime we draw a sample, along with providing these point estimates, we want to provide a 95% confidence interval so that we can add some uncertainty around these point estimates that we get. Now, to do that, we are going to use this simple bar chart prompt that we have used before when we generated the bar chart that I just showed you. To make this video simpler, I have already put the prompt into my Gemini, and I also have filled in the blanks with the appropriate inputs, just like we did in the case of producing that simple bar chart. Now at the very end, I have added a couple of sentences that were not there when we produced that previous bar chart. So I have said that use survey weights, the weight variable is final WT. This was not necessary to produce the 95% confidence interval, but I decided to use it just like we used the survey weight in our last video. Now the next sentence is the key here, that add 95% confidence interval on top of each bar. So this is basically the key addition to the previous prompt. Now I'm just going to hit submit and wait for the code. It's breaking down the code in multiple chunks. That's not what I want. And here is the challenge with working with these AI tools. They surprise you with the code that they provide you, and also the way they present the codes, right? So for example, I don't want the codes in chunks because it's just harder to copy the whole thing at one go. I'm giving it an updated instruction. I want all code in one place so that it is easier to copy and paste. So now I have clearly communicated what I really want, and let's see if the code works. So I can just copy this code from here, I can paste it here, and then I can select all of this and click run, and it generated errors. This is not, again, totally unexpected. This code has essentially become quite complex now that we are adding new things, and sometimes these AI tools, doesn't matter how smart they are, they will produce a code that will have errors. So we just have to engage in multiple chats with these chatbots to get to the correct code. So it has produced the updated code. I just copied this. I'm just going to put it back into my R script and hope that this works. So I'm just going to paste it here and click all this and click run. Again, we can see another error. Now this will be, I know this is frustrating. We want AI tools to be smart enough that it produces the 100% accurate code at one go, but as you keep coding, you will often see that that's not the case, unfortunately. these codes often have some mistakes in them. So you might have to engage in multiple rounds of chats with these chatbots before you get to the accurate codes. Now let's see if this one works. Again, this one isn't working, another error, so I'm just going to copy this again, put it here. I don't know how many times I have to keep doing this. Let's see if this attempt results in some success or not. I am going to copy this code one more time, put it back into my R script, select all this, click run. Another error. Amazing. It seems like Gemini is having a bad day. I might switch to ChatGPT if Gemini keeps producing these errors, but let's give Gemini one more chance. Let's see if this works. Nope. It's making mistakes over and over again. There is something seriously wrong. And this is, unfortunately, this is the frustrating part of using these chatbots. They do simple things really well, but then when things get complex, they often make mistakes that they cannot fix. They can get stuck in a loop, and they can keep making mistakes. However, it seems like finally we got what we wanted, but I would like to make some changes to this. I'm just going to give it one more instruction, that I do not want the text on top of each bar. And let's see if it can produce the correct code. So again, I'm just going to copy this, go back to my R script, again select all this, click run. So this has worked. Now there is no text and there is our point estimate, and there is this 95% confidence interval. One more thing I want to change before I close this. I don't want that long description of what this y-axis is about. I think just percent should be fine. So I just changed this part in my code, and then I'm just going to select this last chunk of this code and then click run. And this is the graph that I'm getting finally, and I'm quite happy with it. I hope this video was useful for you to see how you can add 95% confidence intervals to your bar charts or line charts as well. Anytime you show an average or a percentage, it's a good idea to add this 95% confidence interval.